I should have known something was different the moment she walked through the door. Samantha had always been a brunette, deep chestnut brown that shimmered red in sunlight. But that evening, she came home with her hair dyed platinum blonde, like she'd been reborn under a salon dryer. The color was drastic. Jarring. And maybe it was the way she smiled when I noticed it, half pleased, half daring, that set something uneasy in my chest. "Like it?" she asked, spinning slightly in the hallway to show off the new look. "It's unexpected," I said, offering a hesitant smile. She laughed. "That's the idea. We've been married for 8 years. Comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Our routines were carved in stone: work, dinner, her favorite true crime shows, my late-night coding sprints. We still talked, still laughed, but our intimacy had slowed into a slow crawl. I figured it was normal. People change. Love mellows. But that night, watching her in the kitchen under warm lights, I noticed her posture had shifted, taller, almost. Like she was moving through life differently, striding into new territory. That same night, I found her humming to herself while brushing her new hair in the mirror. It wasn't a song I recognized, and the tune didn't quite fit her usual vibe. "You really like it, huh?" I asked from the doorway. She paused, looked at me through the mirror. "He said it suited me." "He?" "The stylist. Evan. He owns the salon now. Young guy, new to the neighborhood. He's good with transformations." Something about the way she said transformations didn't sit right. Not jealousy, I'm not that guy. But I sensed it. The spark. That charge people get when they're freshly infatuated, even if they don't know it yet. The next few weeks were more of the same. Samantha started taking extra time with her appearance, booked regular touch-ups, and got oddly defensive when I asked about the appointments. The late returns from the salon were chalked up to they were busy or Evan talks a lot. I told myself I was being paranoid. Then one night, while cleaning out the guest bedroom closet for some old tax files, I found the receipt. Not for hair dye or products. For a lunch reservation. 2 entrees. A single shared dessert. The receipt was tucked inside a glossy brochure from Evan's salon, folded around like a little secret. I didn't confront her, not right away. I told myself maybe she had a friend she didn't want to mention. Maybe she just liked feeling special. But a knot began to grow in my chest. Heavy, constant. I started noticing more. Perfume she never wore for me. Lingering glances at her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. Nights when she'd say she was going to bed early, only to sit in the dark living room with her phone pressed tightly in her palm, eyes flickering in the dim glow. So I followed her. One Thursday afternoon, I left work early and waited outside the salon. I parked down the block where she wouldn't spot me. She arrived at 3:07 p.m., tight jeans, black leather boots, and a smile that didn't belong to the woman I woke up next to each morning. She didn't go inside right away. Evan met her at the door. He wasn't much older than 30, lean and fashionable in a way I hadn't been since my 20s. They hugged. But it wasn't a thanks for the haircut hug. It was slow. Familiar. They went inside. The blinds were pulled. An hour passed. When she came out, her hair looked the same. She didn't have a bag with products. No receipt. Just a glow, like she'd just been told a beautiful secret. That night, I watched her undress for bed, brush that platinum hair like a halo, and slip beneath the sheets without a word. I lay there, wide awake, realizing I'd lost her. Not all at once. Not in a dramatic affair caught in the act. But quietly. Slowly. With every cut, every rinse, every touch he gave her while she sat in that chair. I turned to face the wall, her breath soft behind me, and wondered how a simple hair appointment could bleach the color out of our life so completely. I didn't confront her right away, not because I didn't want to, but because I needed to understand why. I wasn't looking to scream or break things. I just wanted to know how I became invisible in my own marriage. The next week passed like a movie where I already knew the ending. I watched Samantha carefully, memorizing her new habits. The way she smiled into her phone when she thought I was asleep. The sudden perfume that lingered when she came home late. She even started playing music I'd never heard her enjoy before, upbeat, rhythmic. It felt like someone else was bleeding into her life, note by note. By Thursday, I couldn't take it anymore. She was scheduled for another touch-up, so I told her I had a work dinner. Instead, I parked 2 blocks away from Evan's salon again, heart pounding in my chest like a metronome counting down to something irreversible. At 3:06 p.m., she pulled up. I watched from the rearview mirror as she stepped out, dressed in a fitted sundress that showed off her back and shoulders, the same one she wore on our second anniversary. She didn't knock. She walked straight in. I waited 15 minutes before getting out. I wasn't going to burst in like some rom-com villain, but I had to see. I had to know for sure. The salon's front windows were frosted, but around the back there was a narrow alley and a partially covered glass door that led into what looked like a break room. I crept closer, unsure if I wanted to find anything or everything. And then I heard it. Laughter. Hers. A laugh I hadn't heard in months. I edged around the door just enough to see them. He wasn't touching her, not right then. But the way she looked at him, chin tilted, fingers twirling a strand of her platinum hair, eyes soft and safe, that said it all. She reached out, brushed something off his shirt. He said something that made her laugh again, and then, he kissed her. Light, like it was the most natural thing in the world. Like it wasn't even a betrayal anymore. I left before they saw me. Drove around for hours, trying to decide what came next. A confrontation? Divorce? Or just silence? I ended up at the beach, our beach. The place where I proposed to her 7 years ago, our toes buried in cold sand, hearts racing under a winter sunset. I sat on a bench until the sun slipped below the water, the sky bleeding into night. When I came home, she was already in bed. I watched her sleep for a long time, wondering how much of that woman I had loved still lived inside her. The next morning, I told her we needed to talk. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse. I just laid it all out, the receipts, the lunches, the way she had changed. And finally, I told her what I saw. She didn't cry. She didn't deny it. She just looked tired. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said. I just started to feel like me again when I was with him. Not a wife. Not a list of responsibilities. Just me. I nodded. Not because I forgave her, but because I understood what she was saying. You should have told me, I said. I know. We didn't fight. We didn't scream. In the end, that made it worse. Because silence meant it was already over. She moved out a week later, said she needed space to figure things out. I didn't stop her. I let her pack her things in the same quiet she brought into our marriage when she started fading away. It's been 5 months now. She still texts sometimes. Not about us, just little things, articles she thinks I'd like, updates on mutual friends. I respond when I can. I'm not angry anymore. Just empty. I changed, too. I got rid of the old couch we used to curl up on and repainted the living room. I even grew out my beard, something she always hated. It's weird, after all the hurt, I still miss her. But I don't miss us. The funny thing is, I walked by the salon last week. It was closed. A handwritten sign in the window read temporarily closed, new management coming soon. I didn't know what happened to Evan. I didn't care. All I knew was that the place where everything broke was finally gone. I stood there for a moment, then turned and walked away. Sometimes, the hardest part isn't the betrayal. It's realizing the version of someone you loved no longer exists. And neither do you.